I want to give you some of the big updates on what's going on with Matt Schlapp, who's obviously facing some pretty serious allegations. So a Republican staffer who had worked just recently on Herschel Walker's Senate campaign is suing Matt Schlapp for $9.4 million for alleged defamation. And we want to give you the basic details, and then we'll update you on all of the new stuff that's been developing over the past day or two. So the plaintiff, we don't know who it is, accused the American Conservative Union chairman of groping him 2 weeks ago. He claimed that Schlapp, who is married to conservative commentator Mercedes Schlapp, grabbed his crotch while the pair were driving in October of last year, saying Matt Schlapp of the CPAC grabbed my junk and pummeled it at length. And I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on? What, this person is literally doing this to me. From the bar to the Hilton Garden Inn, he has his hands on me, and I feel so effing dirty. I feel so effing dirty. And I believe we have video of some of the text messages that were exchanged between this anonymous staffer and Matt Schlapp. Let's go to that.
Staffer texts Schlapp to inform him he's not going to drive him. He says, I did want to say I was uncomfortable with what happened last night. The campaign does have a driver who's available to get you to Macon and back to the airport. According to phone records we've reviewed, Schlapp tries to call him a couple of times. Then a few hours later, he sends the following text message. If you could see it in your heart to call me at the end of the day, I would appreciate it. If not, I wish you luck on the campaign and hope you keep up the good work. We also obtained a brand new text message exchange that's being made public for the first time. This is the staffer texted a friend who's in politics, really sort of telling him what happened allegedly, but also asking for advice about how to tell the campaign. So the staffer tells this political friend, quote, he's pissed I didn't follow him to his hotel room. Then later the friend responds, I'm so sorry, man, what an effing creep. And then a little later, the staffer texts, I just don't know how to say it to my superiors that their surrogate fondled my junk without my consent.
Wow. So again, look, these are allegations. The fact that there is contemporaneous messaging around it seems to strengthen the allegations. We can't say definitively that these things happened or happened exactly as they're being expressed, but there is some evidence that is going to go into this investigation. But really fast, I do want to give you the updates too. So first of all, Mercedes Schlapp has been now tied into this, saying that she participated in a campaign to discredit the Walker aide and his allegations. So now this is not just about Matt Schlapp doing the fondling, it's his wife getting involved to try to drive this thing away or attack the person who's done the allegations. And so anyway, he said that part of the reason they did the lawsuit in the first place isn't just because of what happened, but because Mr. Schlapp hadn't apologized. And I don't think that the apology is coming anytime soon. His most recent communication was, this anonymous complaint demonstrates the accuser's real agenda, working in concert with Daily Beast to attack and harm the Schlapp family. The complaint is false and the Schlapp family is suffering unbearable pain and stress due to the false allegation from an anonymous individual. No family should ever go through this, and the Schlapps and their legal team are assessing counter lawsuit options. That's coming from the lawyer. Stupid shallow side note, if your last name is Schlapp, you don't have to use it constantly. It's a weird sounding thing, you should acknowledge that. Don't pepper it throughout a sentence, beginning, middle, and end. Anyway, with that out of the way, Jayar, what do you think about this?
I'm glad you got that out of the way because I was definitely gonna mention it. It stands out. I mean, come on, everyone sees that and hears that. But so maybe from a different angle, because we talked about this before too when the original stuff came out, but we didn't hear about Mercedes, his wife, then diving in on this. But that's a big part about this. This guy, okay, allegedly can't be himself because of this entire power structure of being a mover and a shaker and an influencer in the Republican Party. Because the Republican Party, these conservatives hate people so much for being who they are. If you happen to potentially be one of these people that you're supposed to hate because of who you may like, then you have to, I guess you don't have to, but he feels he then takes these types of routes. Now you have accusations against you. Now you have to try and defend and keep this from happening, sending text messages with some cryptic messaging to it so people won't be exposing exactly what it is that was going on. Now your wife is now trying to cover up for this whole thing, all because of some power, some political money, and I guess respect, I don't know, hatred, bigotry, but you use these things to get yourself forward in life, even though you're a part of the group of people that you're supposed to hate in order to get this kind of affluence and influence on people in the world. Doesn't that suck? What kind of life is this that he's living now? Again, allegedly, if all of this is true, he's going through these types of hurdles and hoops along with his wife now to try and avoid then hearing about this, all because they set up this entire structure of hatred. Yo, life could be so much easier for so many people if we drop that part about it. Yeah. But that's what gets you power, that's what gets you money.
Yeah, you get the structure of hatred, and then you get the structure of protection against consequences. And again, I don't know for sure. How the hell would I know for sure whether this actually happened? I'm just saying the fact that they're saying it didn't and then going around and attacking the individual. Well, we've seen this many times. And so sure, it is possible that no one has ever sexually assaulted anyone and all of the allegations are made up. That seems unlikely to me, but that is what the right would have you believe. That's all I'm saying. By the way, CPAC, which side of this do you think they're taking? They tweeted, "We know Matt Schlapp's heart and his character, and we believe this latest attempt at character assassination is false. Unfortunately, the left and its note takers in the media routinely choose to scorch the earth in their quest to cancel those with whom they disagree." Okay, again, I don't know how many caveats I've given about not knowing for sure. Like, does that not satisfy you? Maybe it is untrue. Maybe it doesn't happen. But maybe CPAC doesn't care, and they're perfectly happy defending this guy because he raises money for them, and he doesn't care if he's going around like fondling people against their consent. And they'll use allegations of cancel culture to defend someone who's being accused of a violent sexual assault.
And they'll also claim it's the left, John. You hear that again? It's the left. This guy's a staffer for Herschel Walker. Which part of the left is that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make any sense.
Yeah. By the way, one final thing. You might be wondering, so Mercedes Schlapp has been tied into this. What is she doing? Well, I mean, God only knows. She's incredibly influential in her own right. She'd be talking to any number of different people. But there are allegations saying that she has defamed the staff member by telling neighbors. It doesn't say clearly. I assume it's that staffer's neighbors because they know who the person is, that he's troubled and had been fired from previous jobs for lying and for making false statements on his resume. The message was shared on a group text with neighbors. So again, I don't know if that's the Schlapp neighbors or the neighbors of the staffer, but yeah, look, that is why, again, it is not impossible for someone to make up these sorts of allegations. But can we also not pretend that it's cost-free and super easy and an awesome thing to do? No, you get attacked endlessly. Even if you have all of the proof in the world that it happened, the idea that this is an easy route to fame and fortune is ridiculous. And again, it doesn't mean that every single one of these allegations is perfectly true in the way the person says it is. But they would also have you believe that no influential person on the right could ever possibly do anything like this. And we just know that that is not the country that we live in.
If that last accusation is true, isn't that cancel culture? Mercedes Schlapp telling neighbors and everyone, hey, this guy's a troubled individual, his resume is lying. Who else lied about their resume? And also that he makes false statements and he lies all the time. Sounds like you wanna get him disassociated from his community. Cancel culture.
Yep. You hate to see the cancel culture that's going on. It's the political correctness of Mercedes Schlapp. Anyway, and just change the name. That would be my advice. Oh, and stop fondling people. The 2 bits of advice. One would be stop lying about them too. So 3 bits of advice, stop being awful. 4 bits of advice to live your life by. My book is coming out next fall. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.